What's up, guys? Nightingale here, and welcome back to another update notice. Today we're covering the 721 update notice. Now, before we get started, I have one little disclaimer here, this is the final notice for you guys on your custom Mystic banners. If you have, today is your last day. If you hadn't pulled on it, time to pull. If you were going to pull, if you have your 10,000 Mystics. If not, you do not touch that banner. Anyway, moving on into today's content. Make sure you check out the description below for the timestamps, as we'll have stuff linked in here to help navigate today's update content. Because there's actually several different categories here that we kind of need to go over. So let's jump on in and see what Dominial has for us. Go ahead and say hi to YouTube, Twitch chat, and let's roll. So GM Dominial is here, and we're here for another update notice. So number one, the World Arena Conquest season is beginning. Hooray. This will begin on the 23rd of Saturday. So get ready for a whole new season of well, pretty much the same stuff that happened at the end of last season. So enjoy that as it's coming along. You'll need to be rank 60, which again, let me just put this into layman's terms. New players, don't touch this content. I don't care. New players, just don't touch this. It's not worth. You'll be able to get a background pack for completing it. So Conquest season background pack, will adjustments be made, entry, banner lobby, battle background. So you will get the that, and at the end of the season, you'll get the Conquest season rewards. You'll be able to enter this by location will be World Arena ranking season rewards. So the skin for this season is Apocalypse Ravi with a not too shabby looking of a frame. I'm not a frame person, so this doesn't impress me at all. But hey, for those of you who do chase frames, cool, there you go. You gotta be masters or higher to get the Ravi skin. Everything else, and below this, let me just go ahead and say this now, this is only for gold and below. You don't get this and this, which is stupid. Come on, Smilegate. Give them something else besides the stupid skin in a frame. For all this, if this is your main bread and butter content that you're wanting players to hang out in for all of your game, give them something a little more here, besides a frame, a background, and, yeah, a bunch of, lost hair, basically. So yeah, Ravi will be getting the skin. We'll see this at the end of the season, so there's no point in asking about this. It will be literally the last couple weeks before the, season ends is when we'll know this. Frames, basically, masters to, legend frame. Go forth if that's your cup of tea. The background pack is everybody's gonna get, so cool. They have changed the deduction rules for gold and below. So for those of you who don't care about RTA whatsoever, you can chill in gold now for 7 days before it will roll you back a rank or a grade. So now you have 7 days to chill in gold and then pop up to masters, and it's then a 3-day timer from there. This is cool. I honestly think this should just be masters and higher, but I get it. They don't want people to be able to chill for an entire week in masters at the end. They want a little bit of movement in there. So, makes sense. Number 2, the new ML5, 5-star hero, Sylvan Sage Vivian. So, Sage Vivian, having a renowned purist of mana and the greatest talent ever seen in the history of Orbis. She leaves the forest to save Sidonia from the falling ruins as multiple factions and evil spirits fight for their own personal gain. The last of the sages fighting... Whoops, I forgot to turn that off. But hi, Pun, 420, thank you for joining the quest. Welcome to the stream. We're going to turn that off. I forgot to do that. I do this every stream. I forget to turn that notification off while we're recording. But yes, she'll be available in the Mystic Summons and Moonlight Summons. So, Sylvan Sage Vivian. Skill introduction. Basically, that's just going over, if you want to read it, you can read it. In short here, Vivian attacks the enemy with mana, increasing the speed of the caster for 1 turn. This is her S1. And you can soul burn this for 10 souls, and you can turn it into an AoE, and this attack does not trigger a dual attack. So if you burn it, you will not get a dual attack. Her passive is quite an interesting one. And once again, they still fail to talk about this mechanic and this word, which really gets under my skin, that we have live streams with community managers who work for Smilegate and we don't get answers for stuff like this, and shockingly, nobody was asking this question. Why not? So let's go over a passive. At the start of the battle, the start of the first battle gains 3 focus. At the start of the turn, gains 1 focus. When attacked, if expected damage suffered is equivalent to 25% or more of max health, consumes 1 focus, decreasing damage suffered by 50% after being attacked, decreases skill cooldowns of the caster by 1 turn. When 1 or more damage reduction effect is granted, only the strongest effect is applied. This effect applies to the heroes only, so I'm assuming they mean the hero only. So this can go up to 70% damage reduction when it's fully maxed out. And the thing that we're talking about here is that word, if expected damage. This seems like they're trying to make a new mechanic here, or this is them trying to elaborately say one way or the other. I'm sure you guys are going to end up asking questions anyway about this at the end, but basically, in short, we have no idea how this is going to work. If it's going to take everything that's calculated in the chain of all damage, that would be calculating the dual attack and everything. Whatever happens when you click that skill onto her, if it's saying expected damage, it already knows the entire chain that's about to happen. So if that is 50% or more, or 25% of her health, is that expected damage, or is it just the initial attack is expected damage? What are they going to be classifying in this? We won't know till tomorrow, and this is going to be one of the main reasons why you guys should not just blindly pull for this unit right away. Let people test this thing thoroughly before you pull it. I don't care if it's hot. I don't care if it's waifu. I don't care what your reasoning is. Be careful pulling units, especially when new mechanics are in there. Give it a few days so that people can understand the unit so that you can make a better decision, because Mystic units aren't cheap to pull. You can get 3 a year if you are pitying every single one on average. Now, her S3, we're only going to care about the after awakening because nobody cares about before awakening stuff, because who doesn't max awaken their units? Attacks all enemies by bringing forth the power of nature, increases critical hit damage of all allies for 2 turns, and recovers the health before increasing attack of the caster. Amount recovered increases proportional to the target's max health. Increased attack effect can stack up to 3 times. So this is a unique skill that you will want to kind of watch out for, because it's going to give you a crit damage buff. Now, let me go ahead and educate you real quick from prior testing. So for those of you players who haven't come out and hung out on stream, we want to make sure you understand the crit damage buff very quickly. If you have a unit that is already 350 crit damage, the buff is void on them. If you have a unit running Draco Plate, it is not void on them, and it does go over the cap. In this case, you cannot overcap with crit damage. So keep that in mind. If you do happen to have a unit that has 350 crit damage and you pop this buff on them and you're wondering what's happening, that's what's going on. This also is the same thing from Ilyanov's buff. We practiced and tested with this. You can't, it does not stack. So it's the same buff there. So if you're wanting it for this reason, make sure you have it tuned accordingly. And the increased attack is going to be how, like, Landy's passive stacks up. She's going to take her 3 turns with her S3, and it will stack up. Where Landy can get it off counters and dual attacks, she's going to have to use her S3 to get that to stack up. But that's still going to be pretty cool, which will help her damage some, because she does seem to be a very expensive quality gear unit overall. Number 3. A great skip unit for this week. New 5-star hero, Sharun, or however you say her name. The high shaman from the family that has been serving Theranhod's emperor since the founding. She has inherited the ability to foresee fragments of the near future. Ooh. And that future is telling you to skip this unit. However, she feels guilty for not being able to protect the previous emperor and has thus pledged loyalty to the young Emperor Zhao, whatever. I have no idea how to say these names. So, Earth Soulweaver with effectiveness. All right. So, she's got an interesting mechanic in her kit. Let's walk through her skills. Again, if you want to read this, check out the patch notes if you want to go through and read all of that, because it's basically going to say most of the same stuff here. Attacks the enemy with a 65%, this is her S1, by the way. Attacks the enemy with a 65% chance to inflict venom. Venom is a new mechanic. This is a new debuff for 1 turn. After attacking, when the target is inflicted with venom, increases skill cooldowns by 1 turn. Her Soul Burn increases the effect chance to 100% and inflicts venom for 2 turns. Let's see here. Do they end up telling you what venom is? No. In short, from the character demo, if you watch this, it will tell you that it is 10% of the max health and it will inflict injury. So, okay, her passive, just trust me. Okay, we will trust. At the end of the turn, at the end of the enemy's turn, for each buff granted to the enemy has a 5% chance to increase combat readiness of the caster by 20%. At the end of the turn, grants a random buff and barrier to the ally except for the caster with the highest attack for 1 turn. Barrier strength increases proportional to the caster's max health. Now, I saw some people instantly going, this is additive, but they love doing their checks. They love their checks. So, I don't know. This could be 5% each buff, or this could literally be additive of, it literally is, if you pop, like, say, Maid Chloe, you hit off and you've got an attack buff and a revive. Well, that's 8 buffs. Well, that would be 40% chance. Or it's 8 chances of 5%. Who knows? Because this is Smilegate, we just take it for face value. It says has a 5% chance to increase the combat readiness. So for each buff granted, has a 5% chance. Each buff has a 5% chance. Not additive of up to X%. Or else, in theory, you could technically push that further. And then her S3 is May You Perish. Again, we don't care about the before awakening, so attacks all enemies, decreasing buff durations. I hate you, Smilegate, already. Before inflicting decreased speed and venom for 2 turns, increase combat readiness of the caster by 50%. Stop doing this. Stop releasing every unit, every update notice, every balance patch. I swear, when we go to do this Friday, there's gonna be this stuff in there, and it's gonna be like, stop. Stop devaluing buffs. And also, does this not seem counterintuitive? To give a unit that wants the buffs up, to reduce the buffs? Is that how they're thinking this is balanced? Food for thought. Like, this is, I'm not mad, I'm mad that they're doing decreased buff durations on every new thing that comes out, but, or when they're like, hey, we want to fix a unit, buff durations. Stop using that cop-out. Come up with something else to fix an issue. But does this not sound like you're counterintuitive for what you're wanting to do here? Or is this a one-off thing that once the buffs are applied? Like, I'm trying to see what they're wanting to do here. This doesn't make sense, and again, this is a normal summonable unit. You guys need to be skipping anyway because there's a limited unit coming next week, and that won't be able to be picked up in a custom group summon if they drop another one this year. So, put that into perspective. Her new artifact is really weird and shockingly very Shuna artifact. So, new artifact, Sacred Tree Branch. We're only going to read the max because you need to know what it is at max. Increases effectiveness by 30%. After using a basic skill, increases combat readiness of the ally, except for the caster with the highest attack, by 10%. This artifact can only apply to 1 hero within the team. So, oddly, this seems like a great Shuna artifact. So it's like this was what she should have been given instead of her artifact. But here we are a year later. This is kind of cool. I mean, the effectiveness is great for early on, and this honestly even looks like it works for a lot of, I mean, you could do this in a lot of cool places for a lot of different units. I mean, because Soul Weaver, so I'm thinking like Abyss, this could work. All right, number 5, the side story, Clouded Foresight. So, Sharun and the royal family visits the summer shrine for the emperor's funeral who died during the war against the wicked. Since the emperor had not nominated a successor before he passed, the funeral is crowded with successor candidates aiming to sit on the throne. Then Sirhan's foresees a disastrous incident taking place inside the shrine. This will be available from 7/21 to 8/4. You guys are going to need to absolutely rush through this because you're going to have another side story starting next week. So try to get this done this week. You'll need to be clear episode 10, basically beat episode 1, you can get into it. How to play, at that point you'll be able to enter the side story for 2 weeks. There you go. She will be rated up. If you do somehow Papagally like pull for her, chances are you'll be more like using Zahak. So hopefully none of you are out here pulling for this. If you are, you're a whale, and that's about it. There's no reason, you have zero reason to be pulling this unit right now. Not with Summer Limited unit literally next week. This is a very horrible business decision on Smilegate's on their aspects, but hey, guess what? They're full of those. So what are we expecting here? She'll have the Spiritual Wildflower, which actually I have to say this is really cool and well done art for the currency drop. Pretty cool. She will be rated up, so she'll go all the way to level 60, 6-star Awaken plus 15. She'll have the increased health and attack by 30%. Zahak will also get the 30% attack and HP. So if you have Zahak, great. He will be able to help you out along the way, especially for newer players. Stage difficulty, we talk about this every single time. As soon as you beat the 10th stage, which will be this, you'll have to go through and work your way up through this. Beat the highest one that you can. Don't necessarily worry if you cannot beat Hell, but work your way up to the highest one and farm that. Molagora Habitat, completing stage 10. Will unlock the Molagora Habitat. Make sure you beat that. Goblin's Den, make sure you save this for this weekend. Or next weekend, depending on when you're playing, because this will have the gold buff available, so you will want to make sure you min-max your gold, so do your Goblin's Den this weekend during the buffs. As far as the exchange shop, again, you'll want to buy pretty much everything out of here. This is the most efficient resource dump you can get in the game. So as far as spending energy, make sure you go through and clear this out. The Catalysts, the Molagoras, you name it, it's there. You should buy it. Arguably the ones that you can look at skipping, depending on where you are at, are the runes. But I will tell you this, the runes are a lot cheaper than farming it from Spirit Altar. So, number 6 is her drop rate up. She'll be available from 7/21 to 8/4. Another skip for you this week is Aramintha and Etika Scepter. While Etika Scepter is cool and Aramintha is hot, you do not need to be pulling for Aramintha and Etika Scepter. Please skip this as well. Number 8, the Book of Memories, the Holy Order of the Blue Cross and the Mysterious Island update. This is going into the Book of Memories, so you can now get your super duper water gun shooter from the side story. Now, what sucks for you guys that are new is you're only going to be able to get this once. So for those of you who see people with these things at plus 30 and multiple of them, this will be your only one. Do not max limit break this thing. Again, do not max limit break this artifact. You will want to hang on to a few of these things, because it may be used for one comp over here, and you might pop it over for another comp over here. I have found times where I have wanted to have 2 of these things, maybe even 3. So as you are getting these, you probably don't want to imprint this, especially because you won't be able to get any more dupes. I might dupe one and then leave and then maybe look at getting another one of these at some other point when we do this at somewhere in the future. But definitely for new players, do not dupe this artifact. This will be your last chance to get it. Alright, so this will be available inside the Book of Memories, so Lobby Side Story Book of Memories or the Quick Menu Side Story Book of Memories. And how to make sure you unlock this to get the Book of Memories, you'll need to clear Episode 2, Chapter 1010. Basically beat the entire second story, and you have access to this. And then this will cost 1 key fragment, which is 900 Sky Stones, which is how you purchase it, shop, normal, and 900 Sky Stones. It's the exact same cost as it was many, many years ago. Far galaxy, far, far away. It's the same cost. Nothing changed. It's just now you're buying a key, which is stupid. I think it should have just been the Sky Stone cost, but I guess it's to help people from going and just instantly burning Sky Stones on it. Whatever. And then, so you'll be able to go through the entire side story here. You'll be able to replay that. Carrot choices, the story replay set path will be provided. The Goblin Gate is not included in this. The Molagora Challenge and difficulty stages are not included in this via the Book of Memories. So some of the stuff has been cut out from the normal aspect of it because it is now in the Book of Memories. And here it is. The artifact is the main reward, which is Super Duper Water Gun Shooter. This is what we use in our one-shot comps, and also the reason why we say this does not need to be max limit broken is because you don't really need the effectiveness on this. You're actually after the attack is what you're wanting for this. The 5% attack boost to your team. Illustrations will be available by completing this as well, and in the Chronicles, the Blue Cross will be added to Side Story Chronicles. Number 9, other improvements and adjustments. Yay, new monetization will be added to the shop pack. Rank 50 Celebration Pack, Pack 1 and 2. Veteran Pack 1 and 2 sales have ended and will be removed, and then sales schedule for 7/28 will be available for 7 days for players who are rank 50 or higher. Purchase once during the sales period. Skip this unless you are a Giga Whale. I mean, the artifact selector is kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie, but it's not worth the, like, I think this was $50. Well, no, with that having all this is probably $100. Judging by the amount of leaves, covenants, and all this with an artifact, I think this is $100. Don't spend your money here. Heroes and artifacts, issue where Death Voice for Karan and Bloodblade Karan were missing will be fixed. Just one more bite. Doesn't look like anything in here. Adventure side story. This looks like mostly just stuff. Issues were backgrounds. Nothing looks like it's popping out to me. Lord of Sunstorm, critical fix. Battle. Where heroes' effects overlap each other and display Hall of Trials. Okay, that's finished. Misty Chain's passive. Album side story UI improvements. Oh, so they're actually showing you what the currencies are needed to be able to do it. That's kind of cool. So cool. That'll help out in the future for what you need to farm out. And if you want to read all the others, the only thing I saw here is the minimum requirements for iOS users is going up. So if you are on iOS 10, update your phone. And if you can't update your phone, time for you to learn how to emulate. Japanese Media Pack is finally getting added into this as well. This should have come in when they introduced the Japan globally, but there was an issue with it and they had to delay it, so it will now be available for those of you who are wanting to listen to the Japanese voices. Let's go ahead and scroll back up here, and we got one more thing. Just one more thing to talk about, and then we'll get on to the Q&A. So, video chest password, the video reward chest password is Summer Break. Get your 3 leaves and 300,000 gold. So that is the code. It will be in the description. So there you go. That's the code for the chest. All right, let's go ahead and turn off follower only mode, and we're gonna set the timer for 5 minutes. Start asking your questions at Nightingale1176. I will be answering them in the order they are received. We're gonna start with 5 minutes, and we'll see if we need to go from there. So that was a slightly long read, but hey, it is what it is. We wanted to cover some stuff to make sure we drove a couple points home. And also, just as a heads up, we're not really answering a whole lot of questions about the coming weeks. It's more of let's keep it to the update notice. And if you guys have any other questions about like other stuff, we'll do that. We'll do that off of the video to make sure that YouTube gets their questions answered. And hopefully, and again, for YouTube, you guys, if you don't have your questions answered, please hit me up in the comments below. I will be checking and making sure that we get your questions answered just as well. Also encourage you guys, we do this around 7:30 a.m. my time every Wednesday, so come hang out with me live on Twitch if you guys do want to ask your questions live and come hang out and be right up there. Morning, thoughts on the new unit and where they will be. The new unit is a mega skip, like, as in, you should ignore their existence and don't throw any sky stones, any bookmarks, any attention at them whatsoever. There is a lovely thing that you guys need to check out, and it is definitely this thing right here. Y'all enjoy that. And for you on YouTube here, I will bless you with this lovely image right here. You're welcome. So, we'll just grab this real quick for you guys, and there you go. Beautiful. This happens pretty much every time. So, yeah. When it comes to the new unit, it's going to be a big skip. It's definitely a bait pull. Their normal summonable unit, they will go straight to the Covenants, so you could pull this unit tomorrow in a Covenant pull if you wanted to. It's an interesting kit, interesting mechanics, but with a limited unit coming around, I don't care if you've got 2,000, 3,000 bookmarks. You probably should be saving it for something else. We're going to have collabs coming. We've got other things. You should just skip this and give this time for the Giga Whales to whale on this thing and see what really happens and goes on with that. The new mechanic on the hero, I don't think they mentioned whether it's 10% of the HP to the caster or the target. It's to the target. So Venom, the way Venom works is it's like poison but stronger. So this is going to do 10% of, it's going to do 10% of the max health of the unit. And then it will be, and then it will inflict injury based upon that. So it will injure. So it's an interesting mechanic, but it's a Grass Soul Weaver. Really weird. When are we getting the skills for Summer Charlotte? Next week. Next update notice, we'll have that information. But yeah, very tragic that they are going to cram 2 new units back to back like this. This is pretty poor taste on their aspect. So that's pretty bad. From what I've heard, no, Venom will not work on Abyss. Make sure you do add Nightingale for questions, please. And injury does not work in PvE. Injury does not work in PvE at all. Guess no SSB either. You still have weeks of summer. You guys thinking that just because they're announcing this and this, that, okay, it's been 6 weeks, summer's over. No. You've got till the end of August. The end of August. Technically, if we want to get into, if we really want to get down to it, hey Siri.
Yeah.
What's the first day of fall?
Fall begins the 22nd of September and ends the 20th of December.
20th of September. So you can still have summer units all the way up to this point. You are only assuming based off of original releases that they're only going to shove it into the month of July or the beginning of August. You have a very long time, according to summer, to release summer units. So that is 5 minutes. I will go ahead and I will repeat it for 5 minutes just in case. If we don't get anything rolling in here in the next minute or two, I will just go ahead and wrap up. But people need to calm down. It's still going to be, we still got a long summer ahead of us. This is just getting started. There was a clip of, There was a clip of Holiday You Fiend's skill on YouTube. We have a balance patch coming out next week, or this Friday, so we should have an idea if Holiday You Fiend's gonna get a buff. If Holiday You Fiend is getting a buff, she will be getting rerun. She's also in the side story, which does mean she will get rerun. There's no point at... Why would you not rerun your highest selling limited unit? Let's think about that. Yes, the custom group summon was a thing, but why would you not put out your single most highest selling limited unit? It makes no sense. And there's plenty of time left for summer. So, just be patient, let them roll things out. It's okay that they're throwing in this unit now. Again, you have no business pulling for her. Her art looks cool, her skills look cool, but you don't pull just for art and skills. You pull because of mechanics and stuff. You know, the unit's got to physically do something for you, or else why are you paying for a lobby unit just to sit there and look pretty in your lobby if it's going to do nothing for you? You need to be saving to actually progress and do things. Sure, you can go around and, if you want her as a lobby unit, wait till you pull her. So, I'm gonna go ahead and say last call. If you guys don't have any other questions, we're gonna wrap up real quick so that we can let YouTube go, so they can get on to watching other content on YouTube. I need to see the banner tomorrow to figure out if we're gonna end up pulling on this, for me. Which is what I recommend. Let me just go ahead and interject this in here. For anybody who actually is saying, no matter what, I'm pulling for Sage Vivian, at least justify your mystics this way. Check each banner and see what are the sub units that are showing up in when you're pulling, so that you can get the best value out of your mystics. Do not just, as soon as this thing rolls over, you start flushing your mystics into her banner without looking at it. If the first week is kind of crap and the second week is a little bit better, you should probably wait for second week and then at least see week 3. And at that point, you can justify whether or not to go ahead and just rip it on week 2 or wait for week 3 because of said artifact or unit. Something might be there to help you guys out. So, let's go ahead and wrap up now. So, Twitch chat, go ahead and say goodbye to YouTube. We will be... We'll be back doing another update video. Well, actually, it'll be a dev notice video for the balance patch. Should be Friday if it's still on schedule. If not, it should be at the latest next Friday. But according to the 8 weeks, it should be this weekend. So I'm very curious to see who and what is getting buffed there. If you guys, again, have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments below. I'll be happy to help you guys out. And as far as for anybody here in Twitch chat, we'll be answering questions for the rest of the stream. So feel free to hang out after the video is over with. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting week. Kind of a chill week, but also busy at the same time. My advice to you is blast through the side story, get that over and done with, and then jump into hunt buff. Well, since it's all buffs, you may just want to wait and sacrifice one of your buff days and do it all on that day. I don't know. It's kind of up to how you see your value. If you're after more gear, then you probably need to get it over with now for later on. If you're just kind of chilling, you should probably wait till the weekend. But you guys take care. Thank you guys again so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in the next one.